Where is it? Jubilee. Do all high schoolers think the same? Okay. I can have a lot to say with this because I'm a high schooler. But I'm about to finish high school. There's like legit like a month left and then I'm out of that place and then I gotta do some hard work in, you know, it's just life. But yeah, let's get into it. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello.
Seeing an iPad kid, I'm like, wow.
Okay, let's get it. Hold up. Got the custody tarts. Got the custody tarts. Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Let's get into it. Do all high schoolers think the same? Jubilee. This was posted 6 months ago.
What job is he gonna have? He knows more about scrolling to the next video than like anything that will help you get a job.
This song sucks, bro. Turn it off.
High schoolers are kids. 3, 2, 1.
I feel like to say high schoolers in general are kids is almost like defeating the people who are in the minority. Like for people like me who have grown up more just mature for my age and I guess fitting more an adult mindset. I feel like I can't say for myself that I'm a kid because I definitely make adult decisions time and time again. I mean, there are people who still have the mindset of kids, but I can't say high schoolers in general are kids.
I feel like with
High school speaking. Year 12. About to finish school. High schoolers. Obviously, this dude says he's gone through some stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Adult mindset, whatever. But we're speaking on a general scale here. Not making every little outlier represent the whole picture. So high school as a kid. It's the transition from a kid into adult. That's high schoolers, and that's one of the most confusing parts in life because this entire time you've got a schedule that someone else makes for you, but then you're about to become an adult and you got to start doing all that stuff yourself. So, and what's it called? Even adults say, probably not. Like even if you're 20, you've been out of high school for a few years. And especially if you're in your 50s or 60s, like boomers, they're like, yeah, them young kids, high schools, you're a kid, bro. It's not like you're exactly like a kid, but high schoolers, generally, you're still kids. You're still kids. So yeah, I'm gonna be in agree. Somewhat disagree, I understand what you mean. It's not exactly, but it's more on this side right here. So yeah, let's let these bozos talk.
with high school, it's such a broad statement to say high schoolers because there's a giant difference between a freshman and a senior.
Yeah, freshman and senior. But generally, because I'm in Australia, we call it year 12, grade 12, but over there it's senior. But yeah, there's a big difference. But if you go to the older people, 30s, 40s, 50s, and what they see us, we're still kids to them. We haven't done anything yet. We're kids.
Like it is.
Don't be thinking, oh yeah, I'm 17, I'm an adult now, I'm 18, like, bro. No.
That's why, like, when they try to date each other, it's like, why is that 18-year-old trying to date the 14-year-old? Like, it just.
Yeah, that's weird. But, like, you're not an adult, bro. Just like saying it. So that's pretty much saying a 10-year-old dating a 6-year-old. Like, no. Because at that age, it's a big difference. Say if it's like a 40-year-old dating a 45-year-old, that's not a big difference. But when you're there, a lot of things change in that short time period. But it don't mean you're an adult.
Doesn't make sense. I feel like it would be naive to ignore the fact that, like, especially anyone who's a senior, they're about to be a legal adult.
I think kids need
Legal.
mentoring. That's how I see it. I mean, adults too need mentoring, but I think kids need that extra help and that extra push. I've seen many kids who have been forced to be older or act older as they are to mature faster. That's why I went for agree.
Yeah.
You want to move? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I
Talk
didn't
us
know if I
through. What are you
could.
thinking? Well,
She clueless, bro.
I feel like there's just so many decisions, especially in high school, that we have to make that are not like kid-like, and they expect us to act a certain way. And also, like, the fact that we're even able to drive, how should we still be considered a kid?
Do you mind if I move? Yeah.
It's a transition.
I moved because I feel like, especially at that 16 to 18 age, you're constantly planning for your future where it's actually difficult to live in your childhood. It's just kind of, you're unable to live as a child. So it's like, how can you consider yourself one when you're constantly planning
Still a
for
kid,
your
bro.
adult life and future?
When I was a freshman, all the teachers around me always told me that I needed to prepare for my future. And I feel like, especially coming after online school and quarantine, I'm still living in that middle schooler mindset. I'm still basically like a kid living and preparing for my future, which I'm clearly not ready for.
I feel like kid is kind of a weird word. So like it's just kid and adult. And I feel like in high school I kind of want to be thought of as a kid because it's kind of like, oh, he's a kid, right? It's like an excuse almost. Like you're allowed to mess up.
This dude he messes up a lot.
I really can't like look at my classes full of 18-year-olds and say these are adults. Like I feel like now it's later.
Exactly, and then you got with these bozos. I'm an adult. I'm legally adult. I'm preparing for my future. I'm preparing for when I become an adult. You know, when I become, because you ain't a adult yet. It's just the transitioning of kid to adult. But really, if you ask one of a boomer, what are they more like, a kid or an adult? They're gonna say kid.
And later we're turning into adults. I don't feel like we turn in. I mean, of course, there's people that have to pay bills at 16, but say a high schooler,
Yeah,
an
but
adult, I feel like I like to know that I can grow so much more from now. Like, oh, I did that when I was a kid, not as an adult.
Today's high schoolers have it harder than previous generations. 3,
No.
2, 1, go.
Strongly disagree. I agree. Somewhat. They have it harder than previous generations.
I feel like now, our generation, we have more resources for.
I just bit the side of my mouth, bro. I'm gonna start chewing on this side. What the flip did they just say? Oh, harder. So, are they talking about harder like as in schooling and all that stuff? Or is it like high schoolers and outside of life? It depends how you look at it. Let's see what they gotta say, then I'm gonna say my stuff. Then I'm gonna spit.
Or help that we need, you know? And way back then, like mental health, that was like, they would put you straight to camp or like some conversion, stuff like that. But I feel like now there's just more resources. We have the internet, we have the media.
Mental health. You know why they didn't care about it back then? Because they don't got the time. They don't got the time. Third world countries, developing countries. They're not talking about mental health, bro. Africa, they're not talking about mental health. Well, why are they caring about if they're sad or not? Bro, they gotta walk 10 miles to get a bucket of muddy water, bro. That's the least of their worries. But that just shows how privileged we are. Because we're so lucky, we don't need to worry about all that stuff. And the worst thing that's going on is in our head. Because that's how lucky we are.
Yeah. Like, would you have wanted to send a pigeon to your friend instead of texting your friend? Like, you know, stuff like that. Like, would you want to have, you know, we just have it easier now.
I feel like it's an in-between thing because I feel like social situations now are much better, but back then they were much worse. I feel like there was racism, teachers could beat their own kids, and I feel like now there's...
Bro, that's just part of the world. You take it back, another level, take it back, take it back, take it back. You know? It's like Boomer saying, oh, you guys are so lucky, but then the generation before that, oh, you're lucky, we didn't even have electricity. Before that, oh, you're lucky, we didn't even have brick houses. Well, I had to live in a hut. You know, then it keeps going, until the very start. But yeah. It's just changing times. Things change over time, you know?
So much
For
things that we
the
can
better and the
do,
worse.
like it's for the better. Can I move?
So good. Hungry Jack's
Oh
new
my
biscuit
gosh,
storming
bruh.
chicken. Aussies
Get
are
out of here.
gonna get this.
You ain't sponsored me. Get out of here. Oh, it's crumbling apart.
About this question, I kind of like went to bullying and how much easier it is to get bullied nowadays, especially on social media. Because it's so easy to hide behind a screen, people say worse things. And I think that mental health, maybe it was just as bad back in the
Okay. She's saying bullying. It's easier to hide behind a screen to bully. You know, it's just as easy to hide behind the screen to get away from the bullying. Turn it off, bro. Johnny2581232006 commented on my video. He says I'm so trash, I'm ugly, I'm all that. Bro. Look. Bad comment. Look. Or if it's on social media, block them, bro. It's simple. That's just stop being dumb, kid.
day, but because of social media, it's become more prominent and we see it everywhere.
Ignore 'em.
Another thing
That's all you gotta do.
that I also thought about was you guys say that we have more resources, but don't you, well, you don't have to agree, but I feel that the resources have kind of made us a little less smart. Because we're able to look up that, like, the answers to our test, or like, I don't know, everything's just so much more accessible that I'm not really learning.
So she's basically saying being able to just search up a specific answer. What's it called? Our problem solving skills have gotten worse. Because we don't need to really think, look through a book, find the exact page, ask someone. We can just search up exact thing and come up with the exact answer we were looking for. So it's just, yeah. Our problem solving has gotten worse, I'll say.
Learning as much as like my mom and dad did. So I kind of like sad that all our resources are so much more accessible.
Yeah, I know some dumb,
Good and bad,
people,
good and bad.
They're like, is it hot outside? And then they'll go to their phone and check the weather. Like, just go outside,
I feel like school right now is so easy for our generation. Like, it is so incredibly easy. Like, especially now that I'm in senior year. I mean, I'm not taking incredibly hard classes, but like, they don't even give you homework because they know you won't do it. Like, just like, they would rather have you pass than like teach you something. And like, the amount of kids that held back is like nothing. Like, it's just, oh, keep going ahead, go ahead.
That's
And
facts,
so, like,
that's facts.
seeing like classrooms from like older generations, it seems like, oh, they're like learning, there's more respect to the teachers. Now, like, there's like such little discipline that every class is just like amok.
I feel like just because things are easy
Run amok in the back of the class, that's the way.
it does not mean it's better. My friend goes to college in San Diego, and there's literally a group chat for people in a nursing major just to cheat on the work. And if we're having nurses that don't even know how to like give you medicine, stuff like that, it's scary.
I did want to hit on how the pandemic.
Bro, you're getting operated for like brain surgery, and then your bloody surgeon passes because he uses ChatGPT. Nah, that is not good. But that's just some of the things, bro. Because like lots of things you don't need to go to school or like you need to do, you know. Like some things like being a lawyer and doctor, you gotta do that. Like I don't want some kid learn how to be a doctor off YouTube vids, you know. Like no, you're not operating on me, bro. You're not operating me. But yeah, but most things you don't need to go to uni for, really.
Impacted you guys?
Yeah, I think it did impact our generation. I know personally.
She's big body.
I was always so great at talking.
Why do they keep
growing
changing
up,
the
and then going into
sides?
coronavirus, not really like.
I'm just gonna
talking
keep
to
it
my
there.
friends a bunch and like being kind of like antisocial into myself. Coming out and having to talk to adults was like terrifying. I didn't want to do it at all. I couldn't even talk to like my peers.
When I went back to school, I felt like I was still in 8th grade in middle school. So it was very hard for me to adjust. And this was definitely like the biggest change like that affected our generation, if you think about it. We didn't deal with the bubonic plague or a big, stuff like that. Like
Yeah, that shows how lucky we are, bro. That happened. Well, I'm speaking for Western countries. Other countries, it was scuffed. Like China, they out there like, bro. China, the government, like what they done to the people, legit locked them, welded their doors shut. You know, but Western countries, New Zealand, Australia, you know, the West, America, North America, Canada, bro. It was. I just had a holiday pretty much. I was just going to the beach because here you're able to go outside if it's for exercise. 5 kilometers for your house, and I live close to the beach. So yeah, I didn't even do none of the assignments, bro. Didn't have time for that. I was learning how to juggle in the backyard. I know how to juggle because I didn't do my assignments. But yeah, but when we got back, I was like, oh crap, am I scuffed because I didn't do my assignments? But like, the teacher was like, that much people didn't do any work. We were just, oh yeah, we're just gonna start from scratch. I was like, yes sir.
This was the biggest impact. And I remember going back to school, I was so anxious. Like, I would take half a Xanax, you know, almost every morning because it was so bad.
There was this day where we can finally
Bro, she hopped on the Xannies because she full on got a holiday. What?
take off our mask. It was so weird seeing everyone, but I never knew what to do with my face. It was just crazy.
I feel ready.
Yeah, I'd cover
to
that up
explore
too,
my
bro.
sexuality.
That's mean, that's
3,
mean.
2, 1, go.
Bro, like, they got a bunch of
I know
zesty
at a
people.
Very young age. So I've kind of always been ready, or kind of always known. Like, I was over here at like 6 years old, like looking at a TV screen, and there's like a boy, and I was like, he's cute. Like, I was like, yeah, I already knew. So like, I feel like it just depends what you determine what exploring your sexuality is, because at least in my book, I feel like I've already labeled it, and I'm
Bro,
already
why is it
confident
legit,
and
like-
happy with who I
Like,
am.
Now it's very normal to explore yourself, and I think even just like having sex, it's very, very nice.
intercourse before marriage is a sin. Don't do it. But yeah, like, I don't think any of these kids have come from religious households or households with those type of morals. That's why they're thinking like that. But yeah, the media and all that is just trying to make it a norm, but it is not, like, really, it is not right. And I am against it. I'm gonna just skip because I know the crap that they want to talk about, bro. And yeah, if you don't agree with me, hey, that's your opinion.
Best thing ever.
Like,
I feel safe.
like they got like a bunch of people from the same like group, and like, you know, they think the same. All of them are zesty. Like, they gotta at least get a couple fellas like me on there, like how I think, you know,
3,
mix it up.
2, 1, go.
Okay,
My campus.
I'm Australian, so obviously it's gonna be pretty different. Yeah, I don't feel like threatened at school. I don't have no enemies. I've never got into a street fight because I don't put myself in that situation. And yeah, but if someone comes at me, I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna do my best to defend myself, and yeah, I'm gonna stuff you up. Even though you're bigger than me, hey, it's either I run, hit you a couple times and dip, and yeah. But I don't have any enemies. Obviously, there's people that I don't particularly like, but I don't hate anyone. And yeah, I don't have beef with anyone either. I've got disagreements with people, but yeah, I don't have beef with no one. I don't got the time, the energy, and I'm not going to put the effort in to do that stuff, so yeah. Yeah, I ignore most stuff. So I don't, yeah. But like, they're going to be talking about shootings and all that. But that's what happens. You gotta weigh it up. We got less freedoms here, so less stuff like this can happen. But that's what happens with freedom. You gotta take it with the good. The more freedom you have, the more bad stuff. But like, it's double-edged sword, because then you can defend yourself, but then they got it. Here, we got no freedoms, bro. We can't do that, bro. Like, can't own guns, stuff like that. You can, but it's only for very specific. You got a very specific rules that you got to follow. But yeah, you can look at it, you can see it as a bad thing or a good thing. But yeah, America has more freedom, way more freedoms and things that you're able to do than Australia. But this is the stuff that comes with it. Lots of shootings.
The security are amazing. They have a
But I can't even say that, like, because there's other countries where it's very lenient with guns and that. But it's just the culture. It's just culture and the society.
personal relationship
well.
with all the students. I've had bomb threats at my school. I've had like shootings literally walking distance down the street where the school had to go on lockdown. It's unfortunate, but also like it just makes me really aware. Like for every classroom, I have what's my hide plan? Who are my people? I don't feel comfortable putting my phone in the phone.
Bro, I've legit thought it, like, all dudes think about this, like, what they would do in a, a shooting situation, or someone breaks into their house, home intruder. All dudes think about this stuff. I know, we think alike. We just imagine what we're gonna do. Like, school shooter comes in, you're standing there ready. You grab him, your boy comes, whacks him, grabs the gun, hey, get on the ground, ah! You know, you just think about these things. Or like, even if I see people, I just imagine, like, all dudes think about this. I'm pretty sure. If you don't, I think you're pretty weird. You just look at a guy, you just be walking, see a dude, and you're like, could I take him? Does he know what he's doing? Like, that's what we think. Well, that's what I think, and I think lots of dudes think about that as well. But yeah, we be thinking about what we're gonna do in a shooting situation. I got a little sister, but she don't go to the same school as me, so not really worried about that anymore. But I'm just thinking, plan, if I'm far enough, get everyone out, bro. Well, they probably won't because they'll listen to you, but it depends. Or I'm just gonna start sprinting, bro. I'm pretty fast, and if there's a dude, an active shooter, bro, two times speed, taken off, bro. Prime Usain.
Phone chart because if something happens, I want to text my family. And that's why COVID like lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders because I didn't have to worry about that all the time. Also, like a lot of people at my school who have mental health struggles, I'm always afraid that like someone won't be properly treated for that and then they'll just snap one day.
See,
you know?
that's big part is parenting, bro. Like, you gotta be there, you gotta teach your kids good, like, stuff to have a good mindset. And yeah, don't be a little wimp, bro. Stuff happens, you gotta get over it.
School has had.
And you don't lash out and do that dumb crap just because of the stuff that's going on, you know?
Multiple sexual assault scandals. Like my history teacher right now, my world history teacher, if it weren't for the current sub, it would be with basically a pedophile. So it's scary. And when she mentioned like
They wildin' out.
I remember last year, someone created an account with our school name, and it was like shooting or something on this day, and our school ended up canceling school for that day, and it was horrible.
I feel so fortunate to have grown
Well,
up.
what are you gonna be like? They feel like give you a warning, and then yeah, and then if you guys actually rock up and they do it, bro, that is big news. So yeah, find that IP.
Privileged area where there's not a lot of violence. However, I feel like I'd be ignorant to say that a school shooting would never happen because all it takes is one kid out of the 2,500 students that
One
I have
psycho.
to take a gun to school and shoot
One
people.
gutless psycho.
And I feel like there's so many different openings on my campus where that could happen.
We have gates, but it honestly looks like a prison.
Okay, yeah, that's me
I
too.
won't lie. We have security guards. They're
That's
not
pretty much what
armed,
school is.
which was a conversation that came up. Should our
But in America, bro, they legit got. I'm not sure about all schools, but I've seen some schools they legit got metal detectors, guards. That's crazy. Because yeah, we don't have that over here in Australia. Because the worst thing that would probably happen is an essay with a knife.
security guards be armed? And another conversation came up, should our teachers be armed? You know, there's just topics like that. I remember this was actually recently.
Teacher pulls out the
one of
pulls out the
students
golden
at
scar.
the college threatened to shoot up the whole school, and so even we had to go remote. So it's just like never feel safe.
My social media presence is important to me. 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't.
I'm gonna let them
constantly
speak
post,
first.
Like maybe just my story, you know, but like I'm not like constantly posting. And if you do, that's perfectly fine. Like that's a lot of people's outlets, and especially creativity.
I don't own a single social media, and like not as like a flex. I'm just saying like I hate the presence of an app in my mind. Like, oh, you should do this.
That's
Like,
good.
it's
That's
it's an
healthy,
app
though.
on my phone. Like I don't want to give it any part of my life. So I'd just rather not have it.
I think sometimes with social media nowadays, it also can fall into career, which is really weird, but that's like what I do. It's like, oh, I can't post that picture of me like flipping off the camera with my friends because like a college or a future boss, because your digital footprint is so real. But I also I love having social media. Like I've had it for years. I've always like tried to ground myself and
Love is crazy. You love is crazy, bro. I barely use the word love because most of the time it ain't it. But people overuse it, and I think this is overusing it, or you're just a weirdo if you love social media. Like, I know I'm legit on social media, but like, yeah, this is like, I just enjoy doing this, you know? Trying to make content, build a community, and yeah, try to be positive, have a positive impact on the world, you know? And you guys, hopefully I get you guys thinking about some of the things I say. And yeah, it improves you. But saying I love it, like love, no. I don't use that word that often.
realize that it's just for fun. It's not that serious.
There are some people who I know who have like shown or done some really crazy stuff, and it's spread everywhere. Like there's some things I do not need to know, and people just tell me. Like on Instagram, there's like close friends, and there's like normal story, and I post on close friends so much more than I do on my normal story.
Or like a spam account.
Yeah.
I post on my
exactly.
spam account like
Yeah.
way more.
A couple years ago, I would have been right there, like on the strongly agree, you know, like, because when I moved to the new school, a lot of people were like, oh, how many followers do you have? If you had over 1,000, it's like, yo, you got clout, like you're good. Digital footprint, that is no joke. Like,
Okay. If you rock up to a school and then the first thing people say to you is how much followers you have, don't be friends with them. They're weirdos. Who actually does that? I'm not sure if that's a big thing in North America. But yeah, bro. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, if I think you're cool, if I agree with how you think, or yeah. If we just like doing similar things and I like you, and you like me, and we start being friends, you know. Like, I don't care about, like, how much followers you have. Who actually asks that? Like, you meet them. How many followers do you have? Like, what? That's weird.
everything you post will come back at you. I'm so glad Instagram took off that feature where you could see what other people liked. Do y'all remember that? That was ridiculous.
That's why I'm very aware of what I post. I make sure this is what I want everyone to see.
And yet when
me
you're,
as.
I'm so sorry. When you're a kid, like you
Dang,
watch social media,
interrupting,
like when you
how
first
rude.
find out about it. Like when I was 9 years old, I was like begging my mom to let me have Instagram. And now like
That's
I'm
weird.
even embarrassed of like the little like selfies I would post.
I never had Instagram until I was like, how old? I was 13 when I first got it, and then I had it for 2 years, deleted it, and I went for like, I had no social media for like over a year. No Snapchat, I deleted that. Instagram, like, if you can call YouTube social media, but like not really, unless you post stuff like I am. But yeah, I just had YouTube, just watch YouTube videos, and like, if I'm actually real like close friends with you, you'd have my number anyways, so you don't need socials, just call me, bro. So yeah, 9 years old begging for social media, like, bro, go outside and play. Like, I was not thinking about that at all when I was 9.
Because like they're so stupid. So like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, I would totally never let like my 7-year-old on social media, like, you know, things like that.
Yeah, what? 7
But I
years old,
actually did
social
have
media.
social media very young.
Yeah, me too.
I got Twitter when I was 6. My mom made it and managed it,
Yeah.
but I would still like, I would
But like, why is your mom doing that? Why does she care for you to be on Twitter? That doesn't make any sense. 6 years old, on Twitter.
tweet about like my little kindergarten like crushes.
You like
Yeah,
having
that's-
your mom like to like
That's
guide,
weird.
like the account. I feel like I didn't have that, unfortunately. So I
Well,
feel like
was
it
this-
just
was this
depends,
dude wilding
like,
out
your
on
digital
social
footprint
media?
could be much more harmful, like when you don't have parents that know how to handle social media or know how to prevent it. Because my parents, they've never used social media. They don't have a single account.
Yeah, they probably
So
like
growing
immigrants
up,
from
like,
Mexico, bro.
begging, I don't think they knew the
Like, most of the older generation don't have social media, and the only social media that they do have is Facebook. Like, moms and dads use Facebook. Facebook is for boomers.
harmfulness of it, and I don't blame them for that at all, but I feel like that's what led to me being exposed to a lot of stuff. So I feel like definitely with the new generation, and if I don't know if I'll have kids, but if I do, they're not on social media, at least for me.
One of those iPad.
Yeah. If I live long enough and meet the right person and have kids, they're not going to be on social media until they like. And I'm not going to get like them an iPad or anything. Because I don't want my kids to be raised by Cocomelon and TikTok. No. If you're letting your kids get raised by Cocomelon or TikTok, bro, you're just lazy. You're a lazy parent. Like, I know you guys are probably like, oh, you're not even a parent yet. You're not even an adult. But like, just because I am a parent or adult, don't mean what I'm saying is wrong. So yeah, just do better. Do better. And your parents were able to do it. Your parents grew up that way. So yeah, I will just try. But the worst thing is, even if you do that, your kids will still want to do it because all their friends got it, like iPads, whatever. But yeah, I want my son to be playing with Hot Wheels and Lego and that. Be creative, have an imagination. And like daughter playing with Barbies, Legos, stuff like that. Play mums and dads, you know. Kids these days don't do that, I think. Especially if they're on social media and on TikTok, they probably don't do that.
Kids, I mean, those kids who use iPads, it's
My
so
sister's an iPad kid.
addicting. It's so addicting, and
Yeah, don't give them, don't let them get started in the first place.
like, or having your parents run the account, regardless. It's just so.
Yeah,
that's
why
so
would you
important.
Or even
bother
having
running your
influencers
little
Andrew Tate,
like
who are like influencing these like little
7-year-old kids' Instagram account? Just don't give it until they're old enough to understand what's going on. Like, keep them away from it.
like
Little-
boys to
yeah.
think that that mentality is like normal.
Yeah.
I feel like social media has drastically altered
It's not normal. Because if it was normal, he wouldn't need to be preaching it so much. That's why. But yeah, I don't agree with everything he has to say. But yeah, I do think most of the things he's saying is positive. But then, mostly women, of course, just have their opinions on it, and yeah, they just see it a different way.
my personality, especially during COVID. And I feel like if it could change me that much, just imagine a 6-year-old having access to a phone for their basically entire childhood. But like, honestly, I got so sensitive to being in front of camera that I feel like I kind of forgot about digital footprint and stuff like that.
I have hope for the future.
Yeah. What's it called? Don't let your 6-year-old, 4-year-old play on your phone, bro. Give them a little toy or something.
3, 2, 1, go.
Shut up and take my money.
The future is scuffed, bro. We're doomed. I don't think. What's it called? I don't think the world will. I think the world will end during our generation, as in Gen Z's lifetime.
Oh man, seeing an iPad kid, I'm like, I don't know.
It's
man.
not even this.
Seeing
It's just the
an
whole
iPad kid,
world,
I'm like, wow.
all politics that's going on.
You know,
It's going downhill,
he knows
and
more about like.
I believe in the Bible. And yeah, we are living in the end times, and the world will end soon. So repent and accept Jesus as your savior, or you will not make it to heaven, you know? So yeah, that's what I gotta say. The world is gonna end soon, but it doesn't mean you just run amok. You still gotta keep going.
Scrolling to the next video than like anything that like will help get a job. I don't know. I don't feel like I have very much hope for and the next
but like they're just
generation,
talking about little
as,
stuff
I
like
feel we keep getting like the younger generations kept
like
getting,
this. But I'm talking about the entire world.
profited on and like abused.
Is there hope for the future? No, bro.
When I heard this question, I kind of thought about like
The only hope is in God.
social justice.
And if you're here going like, oh, just react to the video, stop talking about this. It's because you're scared, and you're just trying to ignore it, bro. Like, yeah, there's only two places you can go. One place is paradise, and the other place is, you already know. H-E-L-L.
That we're
That's the other
experiencing right
place.
now.
Hell.
Like there can be a change. And I just really don't think that people back in the day were seeing that type of change. Everything was just thrown kind of under the rug.
Yeah, but I think we're living in end times. If you don't know about it, and you don't know, yeah, just look it up. End times. Lots of the prophecies in the Bible has already happened. And yeah, we're living in the last days. It says all this stuff. The yellow from the east. No, the yellow from the north. Is it east or north? As in China taking over. China legit owns most of so much of Australia in farmland. Everything we buy is from China. We sell all of our coal and iron to China. This is Australia that I'm talking about. For zero carbon emissions, that's legit impossible. Zero carbon emissions is impossible. And the biggest producer of emissions is China and India. We don't talk about them. They don't give a damn. They don't give a crap, but we do. What we do has no impact on the grand scheme of things if they're doing all that. But we still want to wreck it for everyone else and make it more difficult and everything costs more. Like that is just so dumb, bro. Have some common sense.
I still love to dream. Like,
I'm talking, and this is
I
the
would love to
Australian
achieve
government
this
here.
one day, but even if I don't have that financial capability, I still have hope. I hope I could get there one day, and I still try to remain positive.
Everyone's goal at the end of the day is just to be happy in what they're doing and make a difference in either your own or someone's life. And I think, like, just
and
by
they're just talking
having
about
this
little
discussion,
things here,
like,
but
there's
when she said be happy, don't be happy. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to be happy. I'm trying to find peace, because happy comes and goes. If you could be absolutely distraught with pain, sadness, or you could be over the moon with happiness. You could be one or the other, but if you're at peace, you're always at peace. Even if you're sad or happy, you're at peace. But if you're not happy, then no, don't chase happiness.
There's so much hope for everyone
chase
to
peace.
go on and be successful.
Try to
in
be
that, no matter
in
what
peace.
it is. So I have a lot of hope for the future, and I'm really excited. Even though I'm nervous and I'm anxious about a lot of it, I'm really excited to see, like, in my personal life, like, what that means for me.
I think the end
because
time
I
will
know
happen
I'm
within the
never
next
gonna
100
stop
years during
until
our
I'm happy with
lifetime.
what I'm doing.
I mean, I feel really grateful for our generation because a lot of us are very open-minded to having these types of conversations, whether or not it relates to us or exists in our nature. But I feel like people are so open to change now, and I feel like that's just great moving forward. And I feel like a lot of us Gen Z people have gone through such traumatic and bad experiences.
A little bit
that
too
we're
much
gonna
open to
become amazing
change.
parents one day.
Like, I think I remember, like, during quarantine, there was, like, a sign in New York that said we had, like, this many years left and before our world, like, ends or something. And my sister is an iPad kid, and I've seen how she is. And it's
I truly believe
the
the world will
for
end
the future, but just based off
and
what I'm seeing, it feels like there's no change.
within the next 100 years. But yeah, that's the vid. It started off like pretty light, well, just talking about my opinion, but then they talked about, do we have hope? Or what was it called?
Stop until I'm happy with what I'm doing.
I mean, I feel really grateful
Hope
for
for
our
the
generation.
future. But they were just talking about little stuff like our generations. But yeah, before I hop off this, repent and accept Jesus as your Savior before it's too late. Because when it's too late and you can't go back. And you will wish that you made the right decision.